new drinks are now at McDonald's. With refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba. To crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire? Try them all now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Hi, it's Dave here, and this is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
And this is the Cinemile. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies, but we couldn't do that this week because we can't get any babysitter.
None of our family members would come and let us go and see the film
Obsession
that everyone's talking about,
which we're dying to see.
Yeah, we had so many messages about Obsession. I think possibly the most we've had in years about a film. And simultaneously, we noted not a one about The Mandalorian.
Not a single person is asking us to go see a Star Wars film. The
wild.
first Star Wars film in 7 years, and but there is negative buzz about it.
We would have gone because we couldn't get a babysitter with the kids, but it's 12 A's, so it's like they've killed it.
What the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
Like Baby Yoda, the most marketable little like creature they've had in years, and they're slapping a 12A certificate on it. Like, we can't bring a 6-year-old to a 12A.
Yeah.
12A.
So we're actually quite annoyed about it, and you know, when you can't get a babysitter and you can't go to a Star Wars, here you are watching Apex on Netflix. But Apex has been the number one movie, or was the number one movie for weeks on Netflix, and a lot of people had like told us they were watching it, so
yeah,
it felt like a good one to do at home when you can't make it to the cinema.
There's more buzz about the movie Apex than there is the Mandalorian Grogu, which is, it's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, and we would have gone if it was a PG, so shame on you, Disney, for giving us the 12A.
This is your fault, Disney.
And
now we will like just
we'll go.
We will. I think feel like we have to go see The Mandalorian to talk about it here, don't we?
Well, you've watched the TV show. I haven't, so I find it a bit pointless to go and watch a film that comes after 3 seasons of a TV show.
It's going to be pointless.
Which is, I think, why there's no buzz.
It's pointless.
But it's why there's no buzz about it, because it's just a bit confusing.
Yeah, but you have to go. We have to go watch it.
I'll go watch it. But first, we're going to Obsession because everyone is talking about it.
I want to see Obsession.
Yeah. Preemptively obsessed with Obsession.
But anyway, we're going to watch Netflix because it's one of those movies that...
You mean Apex?
What did I say?
You said Netflix. We're going to watch Apex on Netflix.
Apex on Netflix because it's one of those movies, that just seems... Hey, Netflix what a powerful entity they are. Mm-hmm. They just release a movie that no one's ever heard of, or a movie from 20 years ago, and suddenly it's like the number one thing in the world. You know, it's just like however their algorithm is able to surface stuff.
But no, the Netflix algorithm is a fable. It's just that it's not that the algorithm's pushing it out. It's that they
just push stuff.
They put it at the top of the homepage, like you would on a website.
But that doesn't always convert to like people all watching a thing.
No,
right?
But it converts whenever they have a big movie star and they've put the movie on top of the home screen. Like, of course, people are going to, like, you know, cost of living crisis, people are at home. It's a lot cheaper to watch a film on your Netflix.
Yes, I understand. But it's interesting to me, though, because this is like Boy Who Cried Wolf for me with Netflix, where we are now so far gone. We're so far into this Netflix dystopian streaming hellhole that they slap a couple of huge movie stars on and have a thrilling action thing, and I'm like, that's going to be a piece of shit. Do you know? As in, like, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You get Ryan Gosling and the Russo brothers, and
what was that again?
And Chris Evans.
What was that again?
Exactly.
Yeah, we reviewed that on this podcast actually.
Exactly.
And I can't remember what it was called.
It's called The Grey Man, and it
was like millennial grey. You know the way all the millennials painted their houses grey, and they were all really boring. Yeah, that's actually what that movie was.
It's the same. They seem to somehow produce the same sloppy, mediocre, boring look.
Dave, chill.
Anyway, I'm telling you, that's where I'm at. That's my baseline here for whatever.
I'm not. I have higher
is.
expectations because a lot of people have told me they enjoyed Apex.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Charlize Theron. I think Taron Egerton is very good. And I saw that it's like 90 minutes, so it was a massive win for me.
Hang on.
Huge
now
win.
you're talking. Now you should have led with that.
Huge win.
This is 90 minutes.
And finally, we get to sit on the sofa and drink.
Yeah,
and there's a lot to be said for that.
Got a G&T and a beer out. Let's go.
Lots to be
I mean,
said.
this is great.
This is
good
the way
vibes,
to do it,
good
yeah.
vibes. Yeah, listen, sorry, Annie, I don't mean to be
Yeah.
so negative, but
there was a brief
but
period.
Netflix just keep doing this to us. So my point is, like, I can't get excited by, like, Charlize Theron is on a movie I've never heard
Well,
of.
they don't keep doing it to us. They actually don't very often bring out big movie star movies. It's rare.
What are you talking about? Every second week they got a big
They
movie
don't
star
have.
movie.
They don't every second week. Not
they
not a
not? Not
Charlize
anymore?
Theron level. Like
suppose,
they're
yeah.
bringing out more
Yeah,
straight to
all
DVD.
right.
But there was a period in 2017 when we had a spin-off show called The Cinemeter, where we watch
wow, I
movies from our
remember it
sofa.
well.
And so here we are, back cinemetering
Back
again.
in the Cinemeter.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we better throw this thing on. See you after Apex.
You made it! It's me from the gas station.
Hey,
You having fun?
something got into my gear last night and took everything.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a drastic bummer. You hungry?
Just kind of looking for that gear.
So look, it's very simple. You've got until the very end of this song to get as far away from me as you can. You got the right shoes on? You'll be fine.
Everybody got a target tonight. Everybody come along for the ride.
Hello, we're back. We've just watched the movie Apex on Netflix. And if it's your first time here at the Cinemile, we don't spoil anything until we get to spoiler street. But when we're at home, it's spoiler sofa, I guess. Kathy, what do you think of that movie?
I really enjoyed it actually. Like, will it be in my best movies of the year? No. Do I think it's a decent Netflix movie? Absolutely. It has a very good opening scene that, like, genuinely gripped me and I thought looked really good. And actually would have been quite cool to watch in the cinema. Charlize Theron's brilliant. Obviously, we know she's a great action star anyway. I think Taron Egerton's really good. The plot, like, is silly, but in a way that I enjoyed. And I enjoy when the environment is used against characters. And in all the settings here, the environment's really used against the character. And Charlize Theron, like, she just holds a film, you know? Like, it's basically the two of these in the film. And it really works.
Yeah.
And, like, it got increasingly silly, but I enjoyed that. And, yeah, I had a good time. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's not great. It's certainly, like, to I guess the points I was raising it earlier. This is a step above for a Netflix film. I think this is much better than a lot of the stuff
is, yeah.
that is Netflix branded movies, right? It doesn't have that palette, that like
Grey.
bland. It's not even grey. It's just like this like flat. It's a flatness. Do you know when movies just look flat?
Yeah.
Like this digital, colorful CG flat sheen. This movie doesn't have that. This looks like it was shot largely on location.
Yeah.
It looks really well. Obviously, there is a lot of CG and green screen, and occasionally you can see it, but like it is blended together really well.
Like, this would look good in a cinema. Whereas a
Yeah.
lot of Netflix films, you wouldn't want to blow them up on a big screen.
I totally agree.
The other thing I think is that this is, as we said earlier, shorter. And a lot of those Netflix movies, they just drag on. They're very bloated.
Yeah. Now-
Whereas this is a tight enough film.
Now, I do think this is. I mean, you can't have it both ways. I'm delighted it's 90 minutes. It does what it wants to do, and it leaves. But it did feel like, God, we could have used another 20 minutes.
No way.
For a bit of like the middle felt a little rushed. I'll get into it in spoilers, and a lot of like Taron Egerton's character feels like it's like wait, who is this guy? Like I felt like it was a little bit like whoa, and we're over. But
I didn't feel like that.
You didn't? Okay.
I mean, I feel like there wasn't great character development, but like I wouldn't have wanted to hang around for another 20 minutes watching it, you know?
I guess, but I almost think like just a few more scenes could have improved the movie. But I think what we got was good. I love Charlize Theron is just a great action.
She's brilliant,
hero.
yeah.
She's brilliant. Taron Egerton is doing something a little different. I haven't seen him play this type of character before. I'm not sure he's 100% the right fit for this crazy character.
I really thought. Remember
He's
him in
good.
Was it Kingsman?
Well, that's very different.
Very different. And then
He's the hero protagonist.
I know,
that.
but I feel like his range is really interesting to me.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, I
and
think
by the way,
he
I'm
pulls
not
this
I'm not
off.
saying I don't think he's bad or miscast in this. I'm just like I don't know, but I feel like there's actors who can go crazy and scary better than he can. If that makes sense.
No, but I think, and we'll get into it in spoilers, but I think the point is he's kind of an everyman.
Okay, let me throw one out.
And he gains your trust.
True. Okay.
He'd have gained my trust.
I guess
I was her.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
There's the beginning, the first. I guess we're not going to spoil it, but largely, I'm sure the premise of the movie, it's in the synopsis here, is that Charlize Theron is being chased by a crazy lunatic in the wilderness, right?
And he's the other star, so it's him.
So that's not spoiling anything. But you're right. When you initially meet him, he seems very nice and put together, and he's contrasted against some scarier people.
And like when you're a woman in a strange situation, there are naturally men you'll gravitate towards that feel safer. And if I was her at the beginning, I would have felt safer with him.
Yeah, okay.
And I really think that works to the film's favour then.
I think that's a great point, and I think you've probably defeated my argument in that does make him good casting for this. But my head was going to someone like for when
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage
would be
is
amazing.
probably too extreme.
I would
an
love
example.
him in this.
I mean, obviously, it would be great to see Nicolas Cage chasing Charlize Theron through the wilderness like a maniac. More, I was thinking like Jesse Plemons, like someone who's able to like who's just like a little off and really terrifying.
Yeah, but Dave, you ain't making friends with Jesse Plemons at the start of the movie.
Yeah,
like.
no, I think that's what I mean. Your point is valid, and Taron Egerton he's able to play the first bit so well that the switch could take someone by surprise.
I was trying to think. He's obviously like Netflix favourite now. Remember we watched? What was the movie
the airport
called?
one,
Christmas Eve.
That was great. I loved it.
Was it called Silent Night or something? No.
I don't even remember.
It's Christmas Eve, and he was a baggage
Bateman.
handler.
It was called like check out Christmas Eve, man.
Anyway, we've reviewed that over on our Patreon. If you could remember the name of it, which we clearly can't, go back into our Patreon or Apple Podcast subscription. You'll see it in there if you search for it. We had a good time with that film as well.
That was great.
It was so silly, but it was
Yeah.
so fun. And that's the kind of thing that Netflix does well, which is like seasonal films. And it was kind of like Die Hard, but in an
What
airport.
season is this? Cliffhanger season?
This isn't a seasonal one, no. But
Yeah.
whatever that one was that he made that I'm sure is called Silent Night.
We'll
but
think of
isn't.
it before the end.
Yeah.
It's not Silent
Anyway,
Night.
should we go to spoilers though for Apex? Because I kind of feel like you got to go to spoilers on this one.
Maybe. Well, yeah. There's stuff that I have big problems with, and we'll talk about that in spoilers.
But if you're listening and you have Netflix and you haven't watched it and you enjoy a bit of a silly action film, I say this is your movie.
This is like top tier Netflix movie. Like, I mean, in terms of like, I don't think it's an actual movie.
Yeah.
It's not. It is far from perfect.
And a way better opening scene than you'd expect.
It's just good. It's good.
Yeah.
I would reliably say this is a fun 90 minutes. Yeah, the opening scene, I was like, I was
Surprising.
wincing.
Yeah.
I thought it was really effectively done.
And not what I was expecting from this film either.
No, it was cool. And it was good. And it sets you up to sort of be on board with Charlize Theron. It's just... Do you know what? It's like those movies we just used to get in the 90s. Do you know those simple
action films?
Simple action film. There's no frills. There's no frill to be found in this movie. It is just completely serviceable. It's the sort of mid-budget movie that we used to get in cinemas in the 90s, and it would be the sixth biggest movie of the year.
Exactly,
or something like
yeah.
that, you know, but it's just like these kind of films can't
They can't
cut
go to
it
the
at the box
cinema,
office because you can't because there's no Grogu in it.
Well, the thing is though, but they could cut it in the box office. You just need people to make them and release them
But
in
there's no
cinemas.
trust.
Yeah.
There's no trust. But but also, is it chicken and egg? Because people go to the cinemas to see something they have never heard of. Like we used to go to the cinemas in the 90s, and you like, what's on? And you take a punt on something.
Yeah, you have to really
right?
lure people to the cinema these days. But if you've famous enough people, you would, and if they do enough press. But Taron Egerton isn't at that fame level that Charlize Theron's like A-tier Oscar-winning fame level. Do you know?
You're right.
He'd have to be if this was the 90s. He'd have to be a massive like a Brad Pitt or someone.
Exactly, like people would show up for Harrison Ford in Witness.
Exactly.
But not because Witness is
like
a thing
you'd say, have you
familiar
seen
with.
the latest Harrison Ford film? Do you know?
Exactly,
You're not going to be like, have you seen the latest Taron Egerton Netflix
And now it's
film?
like, have you seen the latest Star Wars slop?
And the answer is no, because we can't bring our kids to it. Anyway, let's go to spoilers over now for Apex.
You might hear a quick ad. Here we go.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Okay, so we're going to spoil the movie Apex now, and we've moved over to spoiler sofa.
Do you know what? It's so much easier. Why do we force ourselves to walk around and talk when you can just do it from the sofa?
My God, you're right. This is big announcement. We're no longer doing the Cinemile. It's the Cine Sofa, and we're never leaving the house
There's
again.
actually no other movie podcast where people watch a film at home and just sit around and talk about it.
No one's ever done it. You're right.
Apex. So firstly, I want to talk about the opening scene.
Okay.
Eric Bana, love to see him.
He's looking hot, isn't
Didn't know he was in this. Did you?
He's aging well.
He is amazing.
No, I didn't know he was in it.
I didn't know he was in it.
And which meant that obviously he's not in the
I mean,
credits.
obviously he's dead. Like,
I saw him. I was like, oh man,
there's no question.
He's got seconds to live.
Because she's the solo traveler.
Yeah, and they're on the side of a cliff. I'm like, oh no.
But that was insane. Like that was unbelievable. Like that camping that they were doing. I didn't know people did that, and I don't understand why anyone would do that.
Awful. I'm with you. Just the whole idea of being in a tent on the side of a cliff.
I won't go camping if it's a bit rainy, which means that I can never go camping in Ireland.
I know.
Like, and when the ground gets a bit cold through the tent, this is like they're hanging off the side. It looked so good. This was all the bit where I was like, if I'd seen that in the cinema, I would have been really happy.
Great.
It was giving real Free Solo vibes as well.
I don't know. I was paying close attention in parts too, because obviously it's a blend of like the actors, and Charlize Theron is doing a lot of actual climbing. Now I'm sure she's in a studio, but whatever. Like
she's doing so much climbing, and later on she's doing so much like rowing.
Yes,
like,
yes,
she is like a proper action
star. Definitely her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's got the physicality. Like she's doing all this stuff. You can see it. She's clearly up for it.
Yeah,
and obviously it's a mixture of the actors doing stuff. There's obviously some good stunt work here. And then also they've blended.
I mean, I presume she's not actually hanging off the side of Everest or whatever.
No, but I'm sure. But I don't know. I actually would be interested to watch it behind the scenes.
I would as well. Yeah.
I think they did a really good job. It doesn't look fake.
I would love to watch behind the scenes.
Aside from towards the end, you know, in the final bit where she's coming up the top. I mean, some of those backgrounds looked a little fake, but even then,
Not to me, though.
There's way worse.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
So,
but if your boyfriend's Eric Bana, and you're hanging off the side of Mount Everest, and he says, "Sometimes your luck can just run out."
Baby, his luck's about
that's
to
the
run
moment
out.
where you should be like, "Do you know what? I think he's gonna die."
Yeah.
And then what was really like genuinely heart in your mouth was like the sequence where they're actually climbing at the end, right before he dies, and he says, "Have you got my rope done?" Whatever thing they're doing, and she says, "Yeah," and then she goes, "Oh wait, no, I haven't," but he doesn't hear, and he like plummets to his death. Like I know you're taking your life into your hand doing something like that together.
That's not what happened. She had to let him go.
That's because she never did the second knot that she was supposed to do. He said, "Have you done exposition?" I don't know what it was.
I missed that bit.
And she was like, "Yeah." And then she went, "Oh wait, no, hold on a second." And she never did it. And he didn't hear her. And then he fell. And then she had to let him go because he's dragging her down because she hadn't put the thing in.
And it's such an interesting idea because she wasn't sure if he was alive or dead.
But you have to let him go.
So she was obviously thinking he could be dead already. So there's possibly, she kind of referenced that later.
Also, like from her perspective, and I would say anyone in that situation, like basically has a kind of will to die. Like that's how I would view somebody doing that sort of mountaineering, or they're really playing with life.
Doesn't make it any easier a decision.
It doesn't make it easier
to let go of your loved one.
But from her perspective of guilt, it's actually she killed him because she didn't do whatever that thing that I didn't understand was. But also she let go of him. But at the same time, I'm sure as people who do that together, they've both said, "I know I might die on this trip."
For sure. But on top of those two levels of guilt that you pointed out, she also had, he was telling me to stop climbing non-stop all the time, and I kept pushing him. So she had, like, I believed where her head was at.
I think it was a really good introduction to the character. And then on the fourth level, it's Eric Bana, and he's that hot.
Yeah, imagine losing a man that hot.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And
but can I say they're both such good actors that they had two scenes in that tent together, and I believed them as a couple so convincingly. I thought they were very charming and they had great chemistry.
I did as well.
Like, they sold a lot of it. If anything, the rest of the movie, like they set all that up so well.
This was the best part of the film.
Yeah, and it kind of like the rest of then it kind of didn't really matter to anything else that was happening, except that I guess it made us empathize with her. But like, it doesn't really play into anything until that brilliant. I thought the third act was really good, from the moment Egerton like gets the leg injury that she gives him, and the two of them are chained together.
That was really good.
That's a great. I mean, it's a little contrived, but it's such a great setup. And that's when they bring back her guilt and her addressing it. And I thought it is quite. I know it's maybe obvious and cheesy, but just like climbing that mountain, literally letting her baggage go.
And she couldn't get over the summit when she was with him.
Exactly,
and I think it all worked really well.
Neat. I mean, I liked it.
I just think like it's an interesting thing to watch a character who's that much of a risk taker, right? And like the most extreme risk taking really somebody can be with their body. And it is like when you watch Free Solo, and that's such a good documentary for anyone who hasn't watched it, and it won Oscars a couple of years ago. And it's people who climb without any ropes, like Charlize Theron does at the end of this film. And the guy in it was like, I know every time I go out I could die. Now that's an extreme thing to be willing to do. And I found that when she was in Australia in the outback, and everyone's like, you shouldn't travel here on your own, like people go missing, it's really dangerous. I'm like, she has a death wish, I think, at that point. So it's a funny place to be with a character who really has absolved herself of any responsibility for her own well-being. Like, she's been warned so many times not to go in here on her own. Like, the security guard's like, what are you doing? Even Taron Egerton's like, you shouldn't be going there. It's not to victim blame or say she deserves anything that subsequently happens with Taron Egerton, but it's kind of an odd place to be with the character where you're like, this character wants to die.
He almost uses that as an excuse for his own actions, because he's like, you chose this. He said, I gave you do you want the easy way or the hard way? He seems to be choosing victims based on like having that death wish.
But that can't be the same for like that poor family he found.
Family,
what about Chekhov's jerky? The second he pulled the jerky out and said it was named after his mom, I was like, oh, so that's his mom then that they're eating.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was so obvious.
It was so silly
from minute one.
But there's a good scene early
it was
on
human beings.
when she goes into the national park or wherever she is in Australia, and like anything set in the Australian outback, by the way, is so scary because it's so desolate.
Yeah.
And it always really works. I think it's a brilliant setting. And when all the lads come to like do a spit fire with their hog or whatever,
that was intimidating.
Really intimidating. And that's what I'm saying to you. After having in the shop initially, he was like, oh, back off to the lads about her, and he was just like a safe, non-threatening, non-sexual person.
They sold that well.
And then he's like, oh, look at my beef jerky. And then later on, when she sees him and her stuff's been robbed, she's really relieved, and you see her guard go down, and I would have been as relieved as her in that situation. Now, why her stuff is not in her tent with her when she's camping, beyond me.
I think it was wet, so she was hanging it up to dry. I think it was as simple as that.
Also, then there was a snake in her tent and they did nothing with that. But like from the moment that he then says, he shows his hand and he puts on a song and he starts dancing and he's like, you have until the end of the song to go away. That's when it just got so funny and silly, and I just thought I quite enjoyed it.
But can I say, I thought that's where the movie like took off, and I was just like, here we go, this is great. And it's just like, as you say, the speaker and the noise, and it's so silly till the end of the song, and he starts going blah, and I was like,
crazy.
And I was like, oh, great, this movie's gonna be fun. And then I was like, but I think it never hit what it promised. I think the expectations of what it was setting up, I don't think it ever hit that height. I actually felt like it was on a downward trajectory.
But can the movie ever be fun, though?
Can I just finish the point? I felt like it was on a downward trajectory from that point, never hit the heights of what it was promising until it got to that third act. The third act of them chained together in the climb, because it promised like, oh my God,
hijinks.
She's on the run in the wild, being hunted by this guy, and within 10 minutes, or I don't know, 20 minutes, whatever, it had resolved itself. Like she was on the run, legit. Then
Was
she
there a
hid,
tracker on her bag or something?
She hid in a no. Then she like hid. She went up those rocks. He chased her for a bit, and then he caught her, and that was kind of it. And then,
you're right
we're
that-
on the roller coaster, and that's where I think one of the reasons the movie is a little too short. The Act 2 lets the movie down.
But I think though the setup for the character of her, which is where she's grieving and with a death wish, and like it's very sad. Like I don't think that the film was ever promising like real hijinks with the introduction to her that we got. Like this is not John McClane, do you know what I mean?
No, but it wasn't until the point we just referenced. The film is promising hijinks. When Taron Egerton takes out a giant speaker and a crossbow and says, you have to run until the end of the song. Suddenly we're in Ready or Not territory. Suddenly we're in like...
But that would have been silly.
And then
that
he's
wouldn't have
going,
made sense.
and he's looking, and the camera's going, and he's going,
See, I think he was really good
And
in
then,
that scene.
sorry, Kathy, excuse me, sorry. You can't be like... Dave, this is a very grounded, serious film about grief while Taron Egerton pulls out a pair of fake
that was
teeth
ridiculous.
and goes, nah, I'm Gollum. I mean, Kathy, the movie in Act 2 was promising, this is insane. This is an insane movie. And then it never quite got there.
I think the film doesn't know what the tone is. Like, I think the film got a little bit stuck tone-wise. When he pulled his teeth off and he was like showing off his... I misunderstood for about 5 minutes. I thought, it's because he was abused as a child and he never had any dental care.
No, were you not paying attention
No.
when he was gone?
And no, I then realised, of course, apex predators have like pointy teeth and stuff. But for about 5 minutes...
He talked about the tribe that sawed their own teeth down. He literally spoke about
I missed
it.
that. I actually didn't hear him say it. I thought it was that he'd been like so abused as a child. And then later on when she said, you have a really good dentist, that's when I was like, oh wait, he did that to himself.
Oh my God.
But that whole sequence with the family was just kind of sad. Do you know what I mean? Like this film, the tone is not fun. As much as like a cannibal chasing
But
a
do you
woman
acknowledge
through
what
a
I'm
woods to
saying?
be.
The tone, like the movie's promising fun insanity.
The song set up something that was never going to be
that's
delivered.
Exactly my point.
The song
that's
was
exactly
weird,
my point. So it never gets to where it's promising, and I thought it was going to elevate to insanity, and it all felt a little like too rushed in the middle. From the point of like that song finishing to the two of them panned out at the bottom of that cliff, which is great.
It was really good.
But everything from there was just like
there was one moment where he like swung
was too quick.
naked into the river, and then that was the only other bit of fun. The idea of being chained to your kidnapper, though, while you're both going through a jungle, that's a great idea.
It's great. Yeah. It's really good.
And I love her climb at the end. And I think, like, metaphorically, it's a big deal for the character, of course. But then secondly, it's like, it's cool to look at. I find the visuals very fun. Now, at the very end, when she got rescued and she was like, take me to my car. Girl, where were your keys? Because you have none of your stuff.
Good point.
And did you leave your key in your truck? Because that seems like a really stupid thing to do.
Oh my God, you're right.
So that annoyed me from a detail perspective.
I never thought of that. I actually thought everything from the point of her getting to the top of the cliff onward was completely unnecessary. That was actually crap. That all felt like studio notes. Like the movie should have ended when she got to the top of that cliff and was looking over that beautiful sunset or whatever, like sunrise. Like, do you know what I mean? That's when the movie should have ended.
When did she scatter his? When did she do the thing with not scatter his ashes, but she had his compass? She tucked it away after that, didn't she?
That's what I mean. So this is what happened after that point.
Yeah.
And this stuff is all entirely unnecessary, wrapping up things we don't need wrapped up. It was just like that. All felt like studio notes. But what? So it was like she then like. We see her wandering through the thing, gets picked up by a hitchhiker. Take me back to the car.
Inexplicably has
then
keys.
goes back to the park ranger. I know where these people are.
Oh, I liked
and
that.
then she's back in another car, and then we hear on the radio.
No, I liked all that.
It's been 3 months since a strange woman found, and all these.
I have
people.
no problem with any of that.
That's shit.
But why are you throwing Eric Bana's compass away?
Because that's what I mean. Like it's like then it had to be like now we need to have her let go of, like, you did that. Like she climbed the metaphorical fucking mountain.
Yeah.
And she sat on the thing. Mm-hmm. We get it.
I was so
that's
sick
the
to
end
my
of the
stomach.
movie.
She like climbs up this horrific mountain, free solo, and then she's like her legs hanging off the side, and I'm like, girl, move in, move
I was
in,
thinking
move
the same.
in. What are you doing?
I know, yeah.
But no, do you know what? It was so stupid, but I had a good time with it, and I'm glad I haven't seen Charlize Theron in ages in anything.
It's good. good. Like, it's totally good.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, I think we've talked about it enough. Normally when we sit at home on the sofa and record ourselves, it's because we're watching TV or retro movies for Patreon or Apple Podcast subscription. So if you enjoy the audio quality of us not walking and panting, come over to Patreon, where we are this month going to watch a makeover movie, which will be really fun. We are finishing For All Mankind.
Still. Oh no, we haven't put it up yet. The vote's coming up soon. So you get to vote on one of 6 makeover movies, which we're about to finish
select. For All Mankind, season 5. Thank God. And we are about to review Beef season 2, which we had a really good time with. So come to patreon.com/The Cinemile or go to Apple Podcast subscriptions to get those episodes.
And thanks for listening. And we're hoping to get to the cinema next week.
I hope
to see
so.
Obsession or Mandalorian, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody got a target tonight. Everybody come along for the ride.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Selling your car should feel like one less thing on your list, not one more. With Carvana, it is. Just go to Carvana.com, enter your license plate or VIN, and get a real offer down to the penny. No back and forth, no surprises, just an experience you can trust. Like your offer? Accept it. Schedule pickup, and we'll come to you with a check in hand. Your car, your timeline, your terms. Visit Carvana.com to sell your car today.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.